of Pope Francis, who happened to be the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. Currently, as I'm speaking to you, there is a search for his replacement. Now, per the Catholic rules and regulations, just a week after the Pope's passing, all other potential fathers and also Roman Catholic priests who meet the threshold of age, have the experience, they are sent into the Vatican camp, and from there they will start hunting for the next pope through a secret vote. One thing which is very shocking all of this is the pope. The selection of the Pope per CNN's report says that is the most secretive ballot in the whole wide world. I mean, it is done in such a manner that no one even knows who he or she will be voting for. So it's basically something which is very, 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 very unique on its own. Now, one of the things which have also landed on the decks of us, on the decks of Pinaxtv, is the fact that for the first time, a Ghanaian may be considered as the Pope, if all things be. The person I'm talking about is none other than the person you see on the screens. Now, I know there's been a lot of concern, a lot of reactions from people. Every continent wants to have a pope from their country, a pope from their continent. I'm talking about the Asians want an Asian pope. The North Americans want a North American pope. The Africans also want a pope from Africa. So everyone really wants to push their own there, because the Roman Catholic, if you become the Roman Catholic, I mean Roman father, or subsequently become a pope, you oversee 1.4 billion Roman Catholics, which is very, very, very huge. Now, BBC is reporting on this, and BBC have shortlisted a name or some few names, and according to the BBC, these people will likely be considered as will likely be nominated or will come out victorious as as the next pope. So what you are seeing on the screens clearly says it. Now, if you look on if you look at what's on the screens, clearly says who will be the next pope. Key candidates in an unpredictable contest. So as you can see, so from this particular, I mean, pictures on the screen, you realize that from we have, I mean, people from all walks of life. Just from watching, you can see one who is a white person, one who is an Asian, and two people whom are also considered an African. So let's get into details and see what really this one means as we read more into this particular report, which is coming from the BBC. Now, in here, it says Pope candidates left to right. Cardinal Peter Kojo appear taxing. So Cardinal Peter Kojo appear taxing. He is the Ghanaian that apparently he is being considered to be one of the Pope, and it's so significant that BBC even used his picture as the first picture coming from the left. So it tells you a lot. Now, coming again to we have Cardinal. We have Cardinal Pietro Parolin. Yes, and also after him we have Cardinal Luis Antonio Gokim Tagle, and also after him we have Cardinal Fridlon Ambogo Besungu. So these are the four main people that, according to BBC, any of them could be named as the next pope, and especially the one from Ghana. So let's read what they are saying. So who will be the next pope? The next on the list, which is very important, is and this particular person I'm about to talk about, he, according to the BBC, is from Ghana. He's from Ghana, but the BBC is also reporting on him that he could be the potential next pope, and his name is Peter Kojo Apia Taxon, and his nationality is a Ghanaian. He's 76 years of age. It says it is chosen, if chosen by his peers, the influential Cardinal Taxon will likewise have the distinction of being the first African pope for the past 1,500 years. Like Cardinal Ambogo, he has claimed not to want the job. I'm not sure whether anyone does aspire to be a pope, he told BBC in 2013. Asked if Africa had a good case to provide the next Pope based on a church growth on a content. He said he felt the Pope shouldn't be chosen based on statistics because those types of considerations tend to muddy the waters. He was the first Ghanaian to be made a cardinal back in 2003 under Pope John Paul II. Like Tagle, Cardinal Taxon was considered a potential pope a decade later when Francis was chosen. In fact, bookmakers made him the favorite ahead of voting. A guitarist who once played in a funk band, Cardinal Taxon is known for his energetic presence. A guitarist, yes, presence. Like many cardinals from Africa, he leans conservative. However, he has opposed the criminalization of gay relationships in African countries, including his native Ghana. In a BBC interview in 2023, while Ghana's parliament was discussing a bill imposing harsh penalties on LGBTQI plus people, Taksin said he felt homosexuality should not be treated as an offense. Back in 2012, he was accused of making a fear-mongering predictions over the spread of Islam in Europe at the Vatican Conference of Bishops, for which he later apologized. So these are the people that apparently the BBC is ruling that each person or any of them could be considered the next pope. We just hope that the one from Ghana makes it. So number one is Pietro Parolin. He's 70 years of age, and then his nationality is an Italian. He's a softly spoken Italian cardinal. Parolin was a Vatican Secretary of State under Pope Francis, making him the Pope's chief advisor. The Secretary of State also has the Roman Curia, the Church Central Administration. Having acted effectively as deputy pope, he could be considered as a front runner. He's viewed by some as more likely to prioritize diplomacy and global outlook than purity of Catholic dogma. His critics consider that a problem, while his supporters see it as a strength. But he has been very critical of the legislation of same-sex marriage around the world, calling a landmark 2015 vote in favor of the Republic of Ireland a defeat for humanity. The bookmakers may back him, but Cardinal Parolin will be well aware of old Italian saying that stresses the uncertainty of the pope picking process. He who enters a conclave as a pope leaves it as a cardinal. Some 213 of the previous 266 popes have been Italian, and even though there has not been an Italian pope in 40 years, the pivot of the upper echelons of church away from Italy and Europe may mean they may not be another for now. So the next one on the list is Luis Antonio Gacum Tagle, and his nationality is Filipino, an Asian of course, and he is 67 years. I say co-cardinal Tagle be the first Asian pope. Unlike Parolin, he has a decades of pastoral experience, meaning he has been an active church leader among the people, as opposed to a diplomat for the Vatican or cloistered experts on church law. The church is massively influential in the Philippines, where about 80% of the population is Catholic. The country currently has a record 5 members of the College of Cardinals, which could make for a significant lobbying fraction if they all roll back Cardinal Tagle. He is considered a moderate within Catholic definition and has been dubbed the Asian Francis because of her dedication to social issues and sympathy for migrants that he shared with the late Pope. He has opposed abortion rights, calling them a form of murder, a position in line with the church's broader stance that life begins at conception. He has also spoken against euthanasia, but in 2015 he was Archbishop of Manila. Cardinal Tagle called the church to reassess its severe stance towards gay people, divorces, and single mothers, saying past harshness has done lasting harm and left people feeling branded, and that each individual deserved compassion and respect. The cardinal was considered a candidate to be pope as far back as 2013 conclave, in which Francis was elected. Asked a decade ago how he viewed suggestion he could be next, he replied, "I treat it like a joke. It's funny." So the next on the list is Fridolin Ambongo Busungu, and his nationality is a Congolese. It says it is very possible the next pope could be from Africa, where the Catholic Church continues to add millions of members. Cardinal Ambogo is a leading candidate hailing from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's been Archbishop for Kinshasa for 7 years and was appointed Cardinal by Pope Francis. He's a cultural conservative opposing blessing for same-sex marriage, stating that unions of persons of the same sex are considered contradictory to cultural norms and intrinsic and intrinsically evil. Though Christian, though Christianity is a major religion in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Christians have faced death and persecution at the hands of jihadist group Islam State and associated rebels. Against the backdrop, Cardinal Ambogo is viewed as a fierce advocate for the church. But in 2020 interview, he spoke in favor of religious plurality, saying, "Let Protestants be Protestants and let Muslims be Muslims. We are going to work with them. But everyone has to keep their own identity." Such comments could lead some cardinals to wonder if he fully embraces their sense of mission, in which Catholics hope to spread the church's word throughout the world. The decision could have a profound impact on the Catholic Church and the world's 1.4 billion baptized Roman Catholics. It also promises to be a highly unpredictable and open process for a host of reasons. The College of Cardinals will meet in a conclave in the Sistine Chapel to debate and then vote for their preferred candidate until a single name prevails. With 80% of the cardinals appointed by Pope Francis himself, they are not only electing a pope for the first time, they will offer a broad global perspective. For the first time in history, fewer than half of those giving a vote will be European. And although the college may be dominated by appointments, they were not exclusively progressive or traditionalist. For those reasons, it is harder than ever to predict who will be elected the next pope. Could the cardinals elect an African or an Asian pope, or might they favor one from the old hands of the Vatican administration? Here is a selection of names being mentioned as Francis' potential successor, and we expect more to emerge in the coming days.